I lived in Australia on and off about 7 years and decided to leave after that. I have already done a part 1 of that video, so if you want, you can check it out here. And although family was the biggest reason why we decided to move back home, there were other factors that helped us make the decision. So that's what I'm gonna get into in this video. So first up was that the distance was a really big part of our decision too. Australia is just so far from everything. It's so far from home, and it's too far from home. The more the time went on, we realized that it is just way too far away. The visit back home could never just be 2 weeks, because that never felt enough time, and the jet lag was actually horrible after flying for 24 hours, for me at least. And let's be honest, flying for 24 hours, it's a torture. I hate flying. I'm scared of flying, and I really don't like it. And it was just not comfortable at all. I could never sleep, and I was just tired once I got back home. So it took me time to get over the jet lag, and then it takes so much time to see everyone, enjoy everything. So 2 weeks was just never enough time. So we were always staying longer periods of time. But that takes a lot of money, that takes a lot of time, a lot of planning. And that also meant that you had to choose if you're gonna go on a holiday, if you're gonna go on a travel, or you're gonna visit home, because you can't do both. They're expensive. Flying to Europe is expensive, plus the time for it that it takes. So yeah. Another thing that we started to think was, if something were to happen with our family members or even with one of us, it's not that easy to just pack our stuff and go home. It takes time to get home. It takes time to plan everything. It takes time to leave your job for a certain time, or if you have visa applications ongoing or whatever it might be. So it also meant that if something were to happen with one of us, with me or my husband, that we would be completely alone with no help, no support or anything. And yeah, that makes you really think about it if you want to do this. We also felt in time that the distance between our family and friends were only growing bigger in time. You know that they are there for you, and they know that you are there for them, but it is not the same. You're not having the same conversations. You're not having the same memories. You're not part of their everyday lives anymore, and they are not part of yours. Not part of your birthdays, not part of your celebrations, not part of your everything, pretty much. So the distance does grow. You feel like you're not as connected anymore. You're growing apart, and that really made us sad, because we wanted to be there for our parents who are just growing older. We wanted to be there for our nephews and nieces, and to be part of their childhood. And that was one of the biggest reasons we decided to move back. The second thing is weather. I know it sounds crazy, right? Everyone dreams of living somewhere warm, somewhere better, somewhere where you can see more light, see more sun. And it was one of the reasons why I even wanted to move abroad in the first place, to escape the cold, dark winter. I loved being able to just wear summer clothes, one layer of clothes during summertime. But at some point, it did become a little bit too much. The heat was exhausting. Some days it was so hot that being outside felt unbearable. Well, basically the same with the cold. It's too cold to go outside. But yeah, you can't win, right? There's always something good and always something bad. But yeah, it wasn't a big reason, the weather part, but it was something on my mind that I didn't want it to be that hot all the time. So even though I enjoyed the warmth, I started to miss the seasons, the different colors, the different feelings, the different layers. And even though it wasn't a major factor in our decision, but I won't lie, I did get a little bit tired of the heat. Third reason is that big city life was tiring. I grew up in a small city of about, I think, 100,000 people. So moving to a big city like Sydney was a huge change. A change that I really dreamed of, that I really wanted. And at first it was fun, it's all new, it's exciting, so much to see, so much to explore. But over time, when we adjusted, eventually it started to wear us out and become exhausting. The constant hustle and bustle, every event was packed with people. Trying to get home from an event takes quite some time. You can't even fit on a bus or on a train sometimes. Like I remember one time when on New Year's Eve we wanted to go home after midnight and we just didn't fit on the train. And we decided to just walk home. I can't remember how long that took, but probably over an hour because it wasn't that close by. But yeah, a simple trip to the city or to meet a friend felt like a full day mission. Like you're gonna spend all day just to go to the city to meet a friend and then go back home. Also going to the beach, depending on where you lived, that could take half a day if you don't have a car. And the worst part was commuting to work. Like my husband once had to travel 3 hours each way to work. So 6 hours just to travel. And that wasn't even in another city. It just took so much time. He had to take one bus, second bus, train and bus, and then the same back. Like it was a lot. So at some point we started to miss the quiet life, the slow mornings, the empty streets, the peace that comes with living in a small town. And there is beauty in both, and it just depends what you look in life, in that time of your life, I guess. At some point, we wanted the hustle and bustle and experience the big city life, and when we got older, we wanted the small, quiet life. And then, of course, the visa uncertainty. One of the biggest struggles of living abroad is never knowing what's next. I know it's not like that for everyone, but I'm just talking about my experience. Like, will our visa be approved? What could be the next visa? Do we even qualify for the next one? What happens if we don't? What options do we have? Do we want to stay? Do we not? What are the visa options? How can we get it? How much does it cost? How much time it takes? The stress of constantly having to think ahead, plan for the unknown, and the worry about whether we could stay started to tire us. Like, felt like so much work and thinking all the time. And if we wanted something permanent, it would have taken years and years, money spent, and even then it would still be uncertain. Like, you're never guaranteed if you're gonna get something, if you're gonna get the visa. I've seen and heard other people's experiences where it's been a constant struggle. Visa rules changed, so much money spent, and at some point they still had to leave country, even though they never planned it or they never wanted it. So that's hard. So we reached the point where we had to ask ourselves if all that uncertainty was worth it anymore. And another reason was the uncertainty in general. It wasn't just about the visa. It felt like almost everything in life almost felt uncertain. Would I randomly lose my job because I was on a casual contract, because you could be laid off the next day? Would we find a new place to live if we had to move? Would our landlord suddenly decide to sell and kick us out? Like, getting an apartment in Sydney was already extremely hard. So yeah, I don't know, it was just a constant stress. We were always thinking, would we ever feel truly settled? When would our next holiday be? Should we even bother buying furniture if we're gonna be kicked out? Or if we have no idea what the future holds? It felt like nothing in life was certain. Like, the never-ending uncertainty became so exhausting at some point. So we just started missing some stability in life. And we also needed a change. It also started to feel like this isn't how we want to live the next 5 to 10 years. We needed to shift, like a life change, a work change, something different in life. Yes, we had our jobs that actually paid really well, but they didn't make us happy. We realized that if we didn't take the chance now, if we didn't start working towards something we truly loved, we probably never would. And waiting for another few years, living abroad with all the stress that came with it, being away from family, just didn't seem worth it anymore. We just needed a change. And as the time went on, the little things started to matter more and more in time. And yeah, we just started to get tired. When you live abroad for a long time, you start to appreciate and miss little things you once took for granted, like the food, the sounds of birds in your country, the language. You're actually missing to hear a TV show in your language, or to speak in grocery shop in your language, or pastries, because pastries in your country and in Australia are very different. And just the small details that slowly become more meaningful to you than they ever were before. Like, I never thought I would miss some of these things. The smell of grass, the smell of fresh air. Like, you just don't think about those things. But turns out they do start to matter more in time. I guess you get older and you just want different things in life. So yeah, deep down, we just felt like we needed to move home at that time in our life. It wasn't an easy decision, like an overnight thing, because we truly loved Sydney and Australia overall. But I guess it was just necessary for us at that time. And I know how hard it is to make this kind of decision. I've done it twice. I've moved back home twice. So don't rush it. If you need to make that decision, ask yourself a lot of questions. Try to picture your life in both places. Have open conversations with your family, and most importantly, do what feels right for you, not what feels right for someone else. Because missing home and actually seeing yourself living there again are two very different things, and no one else can make the decision for you. So whatever you choose, trust that you'll figure it out, because you will. So yeah, that was what helped us to decide to make the move back home. And it hasn't been easy to settle back home, but I guess now I have two places that I can call home. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!